The last story. Face to face. I'm sorry, the Tweety woman said. We can't release those records. Showtime. Well, actually, you can. Lane kept his voice smooth, lawyer smooth. Release of local adoption records is at the holder's discretion. You have only to satisfy the state requirements, and I believe this document, Lane handed the forgery to her, suffices. The Tweety woman, Mrs. Conover, black, 50-ish, officious, the air of protecting our children about her, took it with an air of ready rejection.
No.
Lane
No.
inwardly
No.
sneered. Was it civic duty or just the power?
It's not for me to say.
Mrs. Conover finished reading. I understand the adoptee is deceased. Her practiced voice of regret kicked in. No, he isn't. Lane flashed a thought at her. He's sitting right in front of you. She didn't catch it, of course. Lesser beings didn't have his gifts, like the reading of expressions. Hers was saying she bowed to the gods of statute, and statute said no release under any circumstances.
Not gonna happen.
Time to introduce a more powerful god. Perhaps this will ease any concerns? Lane handed her the second forgery and watched as she read, her eyes widening. Texture, Calvin had said. That's why fakes get spotted. Not enough texture. People think they can knock something together on Photoshop and fool somebody. Amateurs.
Ugh.
Lane had used the stylus, adding weight to the signature and watermark until both were perfect. Judging by Mrs. Conover's expression, it was passing muster. He breathed deep, pressing a sharp thumbnail into his leg to keep it from bouncing. Stay calm. Only one shot at this. Well, Mrs. Conover hesitated. I suppose if the senator assures us anonymity. Oh my God, it was working. He does. Lane remained lawyer smooth, proud of his self-control. Your agency will never be cited.
Are you kidding me?
She still looked doubtful. Lane produced the senator's business card, another forgery, but a lot easier to do. If you want, you can verify all of this. And he gave her the card with an expectant smile and an encouraging nod at the phone. Don't call, don't call, don't call, he chanted under his breath.
No!
She considered, looking at the card and the phone.
No!
Lane braced for sudden flight. She compared the card against the two letters and the two letters against each other. Calvin said, 3 pieces. 2 makes them suspicious. 3 don't. She looked up. It's just for genealogical research?
Oh my.
Lane sang. She'd bought it. They were now in what Calvin called validation. That's all. Lane smiled and cocked his head and put out an expansive, innocent hand. Nothing to worry about, ma'am. You're validated.
Hmm?
She stood. I'll be a few moments. Take your time, Lane said casually, while inside he screamed, Hurry up! She was back in 20, agonizing, world-ending. Someone called the cops and they're outside right now, minutes. No cops, just her, and a manila folder. She kept it out of view, just a last few moments of torture. You understand you can't have this, she warned. He nodded vigorously. Yes, ma'am. I only need to take a couple of notes. So, who is the senator's friend? She asked, still holding it back, which made Lane too anxious, and for a moment he looked at her blankly. The hell are you talking about? Oh, right. Now, Mrs. Conover, he said it conspiratorially, this is a discreet matter. If I told you, I'd be violating a trust. Left unsaid was her own reluctance to violate trusts, a meeting of common interests. Let's be sports about this, hey? Give me the goddamn file, you stupid bitch! The senator had only to call us. She wasn't suddenly suspicious, she was curious. What high and mighty person had a quiet need to check ancestors? Make them think they're part of it, Calvin had said. Lane leaned forward and dropped his voice to a whisper. Let's just say presidential aspirations are involved? He raised his eyebrows and glanced off to the side. She handed him the file and sat back, watching. He held it for a moment, which is about the only time of reverence the play allowed. Across the top, his name, his real name. He opened it, deliberately keeping his eyes steady. But he lost a bit of control and shakily leafed through the documents until... there. He had never seen his birth certificate, only a report of birth in lieu of certificate. Sure, he had all the ones he and Calvin made, but this was the real deal. This was him. Father? Unknown. Mother? The name of God on children's lips. He held his breath as he read, Mary Lloyd Vincent. A birth date 20 years and some months before his own. A birthplace, Pembroke, New Jersey. An address in California, current as of the certificate. Hello, Mom. It started when he was about 11. Before then, he played with his three sisters, their pale blonde hair flying, their blue eyes sparkling, as he, their only brother, chased and tagged and swam and biked and screamed the high hilarity of summers and afternoons and Christmases and weekends. It was perfect and golden and innocent. Until Henry. So how come you look so different? Henry, the bully, bent down and scrutinizing him. How come you all dark? You Rickon? No. Lane had used the kid tone of ridicule. I ain't. I'm the boy, stupid. I got the dark hair and eyes. From who? Henry snorted. Your parents as lily-ass white as your sisters. You must be Rickon or something. You're weird looking. They fought, Lane getting the worst of it. Mom, he wailed as she bandaged him. Henry said I'm weird looking because I'm dark and the girls are all blonde. And he saw it, the quick look away, the hesitation. What? He had asked. Nothing, she said. It's because you're the boy, that's all. Her hug was tentative.
What?
You're just the boy, Dad had said, but he looked away too, and Lane was suspicious.
What?
He searched filing cabinets until he found the documents. His sisters had genuine certificates that listed Mom and Dad. All he had was a report in lieu. What's this? It asked. How come it's different than Beth's and Joe's and Meg's? You're adopted, his parents said. Speechless, he listened to a tale of sisters who did not carry the family name, and the need for a son to do so, and the going to a lawyer who found the agency, who arranged his placement, and they just loved him so, and he was like their real son.
What the hell?
He raised a hand and stopped them. So who's my mother? We don't know, they said, and they both looked sincere and giving and open, and Lane wanted to smash their faces. I'm adopted, he told Henry. So you are Rickon, and your mother was a whore, Henry crowed. Lane blinked, picked up a brick, and opened Henry's head. 67 stitches and 6 months of rehab. Lane got 6 weeks in juvie. When he got out, he went to his parents.
I don't like you.
I want to know who my mother is. We can't tell you that. Why? Well, first, we don't know him. Second, we're your parents. Dad. All business.
I don't like you at all.
Lane burnt the house down, hoping to take them all, but he only managed to get Joe. At least one of them was now dark, if only on one side of her face. They put him in hospitals at first. He resisted, which got him medications and restraints and solitary. He finally realized resistance was stupid. All they wanted was a sense that all their hand-wringing concern for his well-being was leading somewhere. So he developed a practical ability to con and used it to get out of the hospitals and into halfway houses and from there into lots of foster homes. He got quite a schooling in the various adult personalities, from the overly compassionate to the indifferent to the cruel. He tested and lost and tested and won and learned a lot.
Yeah, boy.
And he spent far too much time studying himself. One of the overly compassionate sprung for counseling, and that's where Lane first heard of the Oedipus complex.
You're kidding, right?
You have an unhealthy fixation on your mother, the bearded, glasses-wearing geek said. Well, duh. Fathers could be anyone. But you had only one mother.
Who are you?
Identity, the holy grail of adoption.
You're not real.
Lane knew that if he saw her, scrutinized her, compared himself to her, then everything would fall into place.
You sure about that?
Beard Geek didn't think so, but that didn't matter because he was only a factor for about 3 sessions when the money ran out.
Oh, well.
He'd met Calvin while doing 2 years for fraud. It was the best 2 years of his life.
Outstanding.
Calvin was doing 45 and figured his counterfeiting days were done, and he needed an apprentice. Lane had some forgery skills. They fell in. Their lovemaking was the usual prison type, tension release only, but Calvin truly liked him. "You've got real talent, kid," he'd say, pinching a bit of Lane's face, an act that would get anyone else shanked. He taught Lane everything. Lane told him everything. "Say hi to your mom for me." Calvin shook his hand the day Lane was paroled. Lane hugged him. Father. It was a little town, this Ajo, California. Lane got off the bus, ticket courtesy of the old couple in Des Moines who had missed his deft movements and probably wouldn't miss their cards for at least another week. Lane kept an inner smile as he used their American Express to buy a cheap suit, more hair lightener, and a gross pair of black horn-rimmed glasses.
Not suspicious at all.
Calvin said, "Wear something stupid." That's all they'll remember. He traded the other cards for a badge blank and made a new set of credentials at Kinko's. "Good morning, ma'am," he said as he held the badge and credentials up to his face. Typical goofball detective. "I'm looking for Mary Vincent."
Who's that?
Outwardly, he oozed business. Inwardly, he was an earthquake, staring hard at the older woman staring at him suspiciously from the cracked door. "Is that you, Mon?"
Who's that?
"Quien? Kikios, no lo conozca." And she made to slam the door, but Lane already had a shoe in it. So, not her.
Oh.
Lane lapsed into playground Spanglish, and the woman's suspicion relented enough that she at least didn't try to crush his toes. "Alejandro," she called. "Vengate." "What?" A petulant voice matched a petulant, torn, T-shirted teen who frowned at Lane through the door.
I don't like you.
"What you want, man?" "I'm looking for Mary Vincent." Mary Lloyd Vincent? Lane waved the badge in the punk's face. Distraction. Intimidation.
Are you kidding me?
He wasn't intimidated. "Do we look like our names are Vincent, men?" And he moved to slam the door.
Off you go.
"She used to live here." Lane just barely kept the desperation out of his voice.
Oh, come on.
Not anymore. Another move to slam.
Come on.
It would have been 20 years ago. The teen eyed him balefully. Go next door. That old guy's been here forever. And this time he did slam. The old guy, fat, bewhiskered, rolls of him falling out of what Lane swore was the same t-shirt as the teen, had been there forever.
What can I do for you?
Si, la connaissance. She got busted. Prostitution. Went to jail. Don't know where she went after that. Why, you ask? And the old man scrutinized him, and maybe there was a glimmer of recognition. Lane didn't stay long enough for it to spark.
Come back anytime.
So, Henry had been right. There were 6 Vincents listed in the Pembroke, New Jersey area. Who? They all responded to his query. Not one of us. He went to the local high school and looked through yearbooks, but she wasn't there. He sat in his car. Reminder, steal another one tomorrow. In the parking lot of the White Dot, some kind of luncheonette at the intersection of some kind of state routes, drumming his fingers on the steering wheel and idly sorting through the papers in the glove box for anything he could use. So, what now? He shook his head. He could look up dear old mom and dad and pull out their fingernails until they gave the name of the adoption lawyer, and then repeat the procedure until he's got a more accurate fix on his mother. Messy, time-consuming, and dangerous. He was about 6 steps ahead of the cops right now, but the longer this took, the more chance they'd get lucky, like run his plate while he was sitting here acting suspicious. Nervously, he glanced around and his eyes fell on a road sign. Vincenttown, 5 miles. Vincent Town. No way. He pulled out of the parking lot, braking traction in his sudden haste, but no sirens, so okay. He followed the arrows and pulled up to the town hall. Mary Vincent's a pretty common name around here. The boozy redhead with the smoke-curdled skin snorted as she popped a Hershey's Kiss from a bowl set on the counter. Hand-printed sign. Take one. I figured. Lane looked properly abashed. But she would have been born, and he gave the date and place. In Pembroke? Boozy's eyes narrowed. Not Holly Hill? That's where the hospital is. No, Pembroke. And her full name was Mary Lloyd Vincent. You know, that rings a bell. Bingo. Mary Lloyd Vincent was born in the basement of her Uncle John Lloyd's house, located in the middle of Pembroke, when her mother went into sudden labor. Mary was homeschooled on the family farm about 3 miles out of Vincenttown. I remember her some, Boozy said. She was real wild when she got about 15. Ran away a lot. Is she still here? He tried to keep his voice casual. Could be, Boozy shrugged. I haven't seen her in about 20 years, though. Farm's still in the family. Say, are you a relative? 'Cause you know, and Boozy squinted at him, you sure got the look. No, he said hastily, just doing research. Paper for college. Little old for college, ain't ya? Lane could have smacked himself. Graduate studies, he said through a false smile. Can I get directions? He was completely out of breath when he turned down the cedar-lined dirt driveway. A house, peeling white paint with gutters hanging haphazardly, brooded at the end, fallen down garage next to it. Dizzy, Lane almost fell when he reached the porch. Oh God, after all these years, after all this searching, the Grail. He knocked. An old woman, one eye milky white to match her hair, dressed in a shiftless sack of a dress and smoking a giant cigar, yanked it open. What you want? Mary Vincent? He steadied a hand on a porch column. She puffed balefully at him. No, I ain't your mother. Lane's jaw dropped. Why so shocked? Another puff. You look just like her. Something tight and painful suddenly loosed in Lane. Where is she? His voice was weak. Dead. The tight and painful thing screwed itself right back into place and he staggered. The old lady flourished the cigar. The AIDS got her. Are you her... Lane took a stab. Mother? Which made her grandmother.
What?
A real
What?
grandmother. Ha! The cigar punctuated her amusement. Nah, I ain't your mama. I ain't a Vincent. They ain't no more Vincents. They all gone. But they said the farm was still in their name. It is. So then, Lane's confusion was evident. Her eyes narrowed. You ask a lot of questions. Ah, place to crash, off the books. No one really checking. Good con. So you gonna claim the place now? She waved the cigar over the swamp-puddled and weed-grown yard, the rot taking the foundation even as Lane watched. Probably not, he said. She grunted her satisfaction. Good. Lots of back taxes on this place. You don't look like you could cover them. Lane nodded. Don't worry, Endora, your little hideaway is safe. For now. Tell me about her. She shrugged. Smarter than most. Your Grands was these religious cultists. Real nuts. And she didn't like it much. Paid 'em back. Ran the GIs at Fort Dix. Had you. She one-eyed him. How do you know all that? We were business partners. And she gave him a sly look. Her one eye was pretty expressive. So why'd she give me up? Lane couldn't help sounding peevish. She picked up on it. Listen, her face darkened. You be grateful for that. Saved your life. How you think you'd be if you grew up here? She pointed at the malarial yard. Grateful? He blinked. Be grateful?
What the hell?
The painful thing twisted and hardened. You just don't throw your children away, Milk Eye. You just don't. His heart started to pound. She must have seen it because she grew alarmed. What did she look like? His teeth were clenched. Get a mirror. That's her. She edged back a bit. I ain't got any more for you. And faster than her age would telegraph, she slammed and bolted the door. Damn it! The rage roared through his head and arms and made them terrible. He slammed the door with both fists and felt it shake. Goddamn bitch, she bellowed. Give me my mother! You go away, she shrieked. Lane measured the door. A couple of good kicks and it would come off the hinges and he'd have her pustule-laden, liver-spotted neck in his hands. But she probably had a shotgun, or worse, some meth-head cooker hiding back there. He whirled and stared at the car. Come flying at the house with it. Take out the front. Take her out at the same time. Then he'd have the whole place to search. Rage gripped his spine and head, blasting his senses, making him see the world red. Images flowed by. Blonde sisters, not his sisters. Loving parents, not his parents. His own darkness, a beacon, marker, calling out his separation. He grabbed the sides of his head to squeeze it out. Squeeze it all out. This shape under his skin. Unknown. Foreign. A cipher. Look in the mirror? He turned and screamed at the house. Look at what? Someone lost, abandoned, No identity. The blood pounding lessened. He gasped, seeking air. The world resumed its colors, and he felt the rage go back to its banks, settle around his heart. He breathed. All right, forget the car. But damn it, all to hell, so close, so goddamn close. Do you have a picture at least? He asked the door. No, the tremulous voice betrayed her terror. He could use that. You know, he called to Broomhilda, I'll bet this place would burn real good. And he grinned. I know where she's buried. A hasty response from the other side. Lane cocked his head. Go on. She was afraid of cremation. Got that from her parents. So she had a plot and some money set aside to make sure she got a real burial. Lane pulled the Zippo out of his pocket and snapped it near the door so she could hear. Near you! Her voice went up a notch. Where you was placed with the agency. Lane took a step back. What? She wanted to be buried near you. Lane stopped breathing. She felt real bad she had to give you up. Mom. Mom, it was mantra, and something broke in Lane's stomach. Tell me where, he whispered. She did. My God, it was just one town over from home. If you're lying, he said as he left, it'll take you 3 days to die. It took him 3 days to find her. The witch hadn't been real specific, but persistence, frenzied, insane persistence, paid off. Midnight, a leprous, cloud-shrouded moon peeking at him, shocked. Lane flipped it off and sank the shovel into the mossy earth. Time to get acquainted, Mom. The end.